So I haven't done this in a while, but I am super excited to share today's mail day. Now, I don't do a ton of showing off my collection. I tend to like to talk about cards, pose ideas, be a place that we can communicate and go back and forth about different valuations, different opinions. But man, I've got to show you today's mail day. I mean, this was a big one. One of the biggest pickups I've ever had showed up today. I had that video just the other day on the T206 set. How I think that T206 set is undervalued. Now, that's my opinion. I showed a little bit of data as to why I felt that way. If you haven't seen that yet, check that video out. But I had two T206 cards, Hall of Famers, show up today. And one of them is a big one. So I want to share this with you. I want you to take a look at what I just purchased. I'm not just saying I think T206 cards are good cards and other people should go out and buy them. I went out and got a couple myself and I dropped some serious money on these. Check out these two cards that showed up today.
All right, so we're going to speed through the unboxing here, envelope after envelope, and once we get inside, this is a huge card for my collection. We've got a Christy Mathewson T206 card. Now, Christy Mathewson has 3 T206 cards. He has a portrait and then 2 pose cards. And I just love the look of the card. The centering is awesome. The color is outstanding. It's got really, really good eye appeal, really nice image on it. It's got a little bit of a faint scratch across it diagonally, kind of over his shoulder. On the back, it's a fairly common back, but the back is big time secondary for me. A little bit of a flaking there off the back, but I don't really care if it's a rare back or not. To me, it's all about the image on the front, the eye appeal of the front. And when I look at this card, I just think it's just beautiful. I am so excited to be adding this to my collection. It is a PSA 2, and it is a recent graded card. You just look at it and, man, it is a super clear card, super nice coloring, really excited. When we look at Christy Mathewson, we're talking about one of the best pitchers, best players of all time. And you can see in the couple of pictures here. Now, this is a player who in the early years was as dominant of a pitcher as there was. When you look at some of his statistics, I mean, he was an inaugural Hall of Famer getting over 90% of the vote. In that inaugural Hall of Fame class, it was Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Walter Johnson, and Christy Mathewson. Some really good players like Cy Young and Tris Speaker did not get in on that inaugural ballot. He won 2 Triple Crowns. 2 times he led the league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts in 1905 and 1908. Led the NL in wins 4 different times. And 5 different times led the NL in ERA. 5 different times he led the league in strikeouts. I mean, he is a premier pitcher of all time, has 2 World Series titles. And I just added his T206 card. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, I hope you will. And we will quickly unbox the second Hall of Fame T206 card. And this is Elmer Flick. Now, he is not the household name of a Christy Mathewson, but was a really good hitter and a really good player during the early 1900s. This one's a Piedmont back, but But again, it's all about the eye appeal to me. Really nice centering, really good coloring, super clear image, all the paper intact on the front. This is a PSA 3. You can see the little crease there across the top. And other than that, it is gorgeous. So you say, who is Elmer Flick? Well, first of all, he was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1963 by a Veterans Committee. He won the AL batting title in 1905. In fact, he had a couple of years, he had a much better batting average than the year he won it. He finished second in 1900, batted .367, went all the way down to the last day of the season where Honus Wagner beat him out for that title. 1899, he batted .342, led the league in RBIs in 1900, led the league in slugging percentage, also led the league in triples a couple of times, and stolen bases a couple of times. And here is his Hall of Fame plaque. And you can see some of his accolades and some of his career highlights. But again, so excited to add these cards to my collection.
You know, at the end of the day, it's really about collecting what we like. And our tastes are going to change. I never would have thought 5, 10, 20 years ago that I would have gone out and bought 2 Hall of Fame T206 cards. That just didn't seem like something that I'd be interested in, and it didn't seem like something that I would actually go out and do. But here I am, and I could not be more excited to have added these 2 cards to my collection. So I think we need to remain open-minded to the evolution of our tastes and our interests. Maybe you've only been baseball and you've been thinking, maybe some football cards are what I want. Or maybe you've been a collector of the mid-60s and now you're thinking about going back to the 50s. I really think that if you stay open to the fact that your tastes are going to change and the players that you're interested in might change, then just go out and whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever you look at a card and you go, that one looks good to me, regardless of the grade, regardless of the year, regardless of the player, if there's something you see it and you like it and you want it, you should go after it. For me, I've gotten really into the older 50 and 51 Bowmans. The tobacco cards have been really cool, and I just felt like it was time to pick a couple up. I hope you enjoyed checking out those 2 pickups. Those were big time cards for me on a guy on a limited budget to go out and spend that kind of money. But again, so excited to have those, and I'm so excited that I got a chance to share them with you. I'll leave you with this. Have your interests changed? Have the cards that you used to collect be different than the cards that you're collecting now? If so, what is the thing or things that recently you've started having some interest in that you didn't have interest in a few years ago? What are the new things that you're starting to target that you didn't used to? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always open to checking out what other people are into and seeing if maybe that's something that I need to add to my list as well.
So you can see it on the smile on my face, how excited I am to pick up these 2 cards. I am excited to hear from you about what you think of these 2 pickups and what are some cards that are new interests in your collection.